You don't even know where you're coming from. You have no idea where this animation is actually housed. You feel inside you, and you're looking at your eyeballs. Where's the center of that? Is it in your stomach, in your gut? Is it, where is it? It feels like it's everywhere, right? And nowhere at the same time. It's like I don't feel it here, or in my toes. Just kind of is like this bubble, right? I mean, you trace it. Not with the thought, well, it's my soul. It's right here, my heart. No, don't do it with your mind. Experience it. Okay, here I am, looking at my eyeballs. I take away all my notions, take away all my belief systems, and erase all my judgments about what that is. You just sit in it. Okay, now once you get sitting in it, look for where it comes from. It's coming from inside you, outside you, around you. Where is it? Another way to totally explain this, ego is the shield, it's the filter. So every time it's trying to direct something, it's going to stick a cup in that energy stream and cut it off. Get that cup, suck it down. You understand that? Boom. Don't have it. Then there's no cup. There's no break in the stream. There's nothing that will stop you from experiencing it. Nothing. I've said several times in other groups that ego is just a byproduct of being alive.
Yeah.
It's the being so asleep that it hands all of its well-being over to the mind to process. Ew. Doesn't know what emotions. Right? So you get to that place where you're now you're aware of where you're at on your path, if you will, on your life. You're aware of where you're at. There you are. You're now enlightened. At that point, but that doesn't mean anything. Because now that you're aware, you have to process everything that you're aware of too, right? But this time, you're going to do it without your mind. You're going to do it without your reactionary mind. You're going to do it with your being. And the information it's going to pull is what's going to be stored in the mind. So anything that comes in that isn't that, ditch it, flush it, cut it out, throw it through the shredder, the file shredder, delete it. Otherwise it turns into a virus.
Right.
See? So then you consistently do it this way. There's no break in the continuity of your being. You're just engaged in its growth now. You can actually be cognizantly aware of it as an individuated energy field, as a soul, as a being. Right? It's no longer conjecture. It's no longer some talk. It's presence. And you walk down the street and you don't need anything to happen. See, that's well-being. That is satisfaction. Right? If anyone's looking for satisfaction, first place to look is your connection to life. Because without life, there is no satisfaction. So, to be satisfied is being alive, first and foremost. Right? Don't let your ego decide beyond that what it is. Naturally gravitate towards it and letting that flow freely into you. You do your thing. Those people they would be blown away if they knew what they were really capable of at any moment. If they just dropped the ego for a second, they could be everywhere all at once. They wouldn't be very powerful in it, but they could have the view. Right? Because it's, they're still somewhat encased. It's almost like setting a satellite out to take pictures. There's no one stopping that either. It's almost like a little scout inside your being. Goes wandering through unknown fields looking for information.
Right.
And so, what is this now? If we do this naturally, if we take the ego out of the equation, the reactive mind, that, okay, I'm having that feeling I always have, damn, there's the reactive mind. Why is it, that's the reactive mind. Non-reactive mind is going to suck that weight in deep, and sit there with it. Not label it, because that's the mind. Not give it a name, not have time for it. You get nothing but time. So you sit with it. Right? You don't do anything with it. You become aware of it and in your being. You just don't do anything with it. Your being will naturally deal with it. It'll extract the information it needs out of it. And then it will throw away everything that is not pertaining to it. Your mind won't. It'll take the whole nut and eat the whole damn thing. And you'll go sideways. So the being will just take what is pertinent to its development. And what it does is it takes you as a conscious being here that says hello to you, the one that actually is doing the interacting, and it takes that consciousness to a state which is like it's like a razor's edge state where it really matters now, right? But what you'll have is a glimpse of the unknown right the moment it's entering into the known. Right? As that information is crystallizing into an actual knowable thing, you'll be right there at that point. So there's no more of this confusion about what is what. You're informed about what is what at every minute, right at the minute it happens. See, so all this stored information is information about something that's already done. The universe is not invested in that. It's invested completely and wholly and totally with right now. So it moves you right into that right now space. Right? Now, if the ego, it's really hard to keep the ego out. It is. It's nearly impossible. It's a nearly impossible task. Not undoable, but nearly impossible. That's why one has to be honest with themselves. Purely. That's the only defense against the ego taking the reins again. Right? So what it does is it brings you to the now. And that now is really the space where you can process useful information at the moment it's coming in and act on it right then. And in that, you're speeding up this process of growth. The evolutionary gear is in high now. Because there's none of this drag. There's none of this mental blockage. It's just you on the surfboard on that wave. Right? And you're on it and it never breaks. It's a wave that will never break. We break. Our legs get, the wave keeps going. Our legs get wobbly. Right? And we need to understand what our moments of vulnerability. We have to understand what we truly take issue with. Right? And we need to really focus heavy amounts of attention there, and energy and awareness, same thing. Attention, energy, and awareness is pretty much the same thing. It's an interchangeable word for a being there with what's happening. Not wanting to be, whoa, I can't. No, be, if it's you, being there with it. Bringing ourselves forward. It's doable. It's not a fantasy. It's not a fairy tale. That's just why I do it this way instead of write a book.
Right.
Because I can say it, but I can also prove to you that that energy is real. Because you are experiencing it. Right. And it's funny because I guess it could be construed as you're experiencing me. No, you're not. You're having the experience, that's you.
Yeah.
I'm having the experience, that's me. You're having that experience, that's you. It's not me doing anything to you. It's really two beings who, hey, pretty fun. Bam, there goes